Sarunas Jasikevicius, what a year it has been for him. EuroLeague Coach of the Year, claiming his first EuroLeague crown.
While we all probably agree that Željko Obradović is the all-time European GOAT, his student Sarunas Jasikevicius might be the best current coach in European basketball. Lithuanian is fresh off a EuroLeague title with Fenerbahce, and their playoff dominance was another proof of Saras' greatness and personal growth. So let's break down how Fenerbahce did not leave any questions about who deserved it most with an incredible playoff run. First of all, to actually make it to the Final Four, Saras and Fenerbahce had to pass through Paris basketball. The surprise of the season, but a team whose system was a jigsaw puzzle to everybody else. Jasikevicius solved how to stop that. For example, one of their most used elements are guard screens by bigs when guards are driving to the paint. By utilizing these, small guards can score from the paint way easier, and it has been an unsolvable thing for almost everybody this season, except for Saras. Instead of fighting with bigs for position after switching, he instructed his players to simply keep a bit of distance so Paris' bigs can't actually screen their own man as the drive occurs. Fenerbahce would simply re-switch inside of the paint when the ball handler gets closer, forcing either super tough shots or turnovers. That sounds like a simple adjustment, but no coach has thought of it, or okay, no coach had his players executing this strategy at such a high level this season. Another thing that made Paris basketball so successful this season was their hedge and plug defensive concept. A trendy thing in European basketball, as almost everybody is leaving the classic old school hedge defense behind. The small difference here is that the big still hedges, but the guard is staying lower, denying a short roll pass. Paris had their opponents clueless of what to do against it almost the entire season. Yet Fenerbahce feasted against this. The key thing was to attack the low man defender who helped in the paint. Jasikevicius instructed his man to roll as fast as possible instead of waiting for a short roll pass at the free throw line, so the low man has to tag the big at the rim and stay nearby for as long as possible. Then 2 quick passes makes this closeout incredibly long and a great opportunity for the attacker to score. Fenerbahce's players did that with purpose and got off amazing looks all series long. Series that ended 3-0 because of Saras' tactical brilliance and the charisma to pass the knowledge to his players.
Suit that he's wearing as well.
In the Final Four, Fenerbahce faced 2 of the best guards in the entire league. Pau's Kendrick Nunn and then Monaco's Mike James, a current MVP and last year's MVP. Yet Nunn shot 7 of 15 from the field only, while James finished with 6 of 19. But an even bigger gap was in their creation. Combined, these two averaged 10 assists per game this season. Instead, against Fenerbahce, they had a total of 2 in 2 matches. Means Jasikevicius once again had a plan that's worked wonders. The Lithuanian coach loves forcing the opponents to their weak hands. That's been his signature move since he started coaching in Žalgiris. That's again basic logic, because naturally you want your opponents doing more of the things they're not feeling great in. He did the same to Kendrick Nunn at the beginning of the semifinal, plus he sent the big high, not allowing the MVP to get it going early and forcing to pass out more instead of taking matters into his own hands. Of course, 40 minutes of the same defense against the best players almost never works. So after some time, it was switch all defense turn to limit none. The interesting part here is that it was not a simple switching defense. After the initial pick is set, the big must be close to none, even too close sometimes. The task is to force Kendrick to drive inside, where he is not as dangerous and efficient as he is in the perimeter shooting the pull-up. Plus, there is another trick here. When the big forces Nunn or Slukas to drive, the guard then re-switches back inside the painted area. If you try to shoot over and Fenerbahce players are vertical, most likely that's a tough miss. If you jump in the air and change your mind, it's probably a turnover. Normally, the teams just switch and then watch the opposing guard go to work. Not with Saras. He invited the drives and then collapsed the paint, making Nunn asking for foul calls in the first half in so many episodes. Okay, but Nunn adjusted, and after the halftime in the third quarter, it was a little bit different. Kendrick and Cedi Osman understood that retreating back a bit higher and beating Melli so high up leaves them more space to shoot a floater or simply get bigger speed, so the inside re-switch does not work. Pau scored quick 4 points here and we're back in the game, but Saras immediately reacted. That's one more strong side of his. He's not afraid to make in-game adjustments super quickly. Fenerbahce went back to hedging defense, and that caught Kendrick Nunn and others off guard a little bit. Instead of the Greek team getting paint touches and layups to start the third quarter, now after a Saras adjustment, they were forced to attempt 3 straight off-the-dribble three-pointers, way more difficult shots than rim attempts. And more importantly, they were all very contested. This created Fenerbahce a bigger gap in the semifinal that they managed to hold on until the end. Offensively, Jasikevicius is known for attacking the weak links of the opposing defense. It's not rocket science, I agree with you. But he makes sure his team does that in every freaking possession. In the semifinal, Kendrick Nunn got exposed so bad defensively, I would be pissed if I was a Panathinaikos fan. This has nothing to do with Saras or Fener, but just look how slow Nunn is coming back to defense here. Brother, I could run faster with my flip-flops at a sandy beach, and this tells me the other coach did not inspire Nunn to make an effort here. Apart from this, Jasikevicius made sure a player that's guarded by Kendrick Nunn is playing with the ball. And if they got a switch, that's an automatic post touch, simply because he don't really play defense most of the time. Here he is supposed to force the opponent baseline as per Pau team rules, but allows middle and it's an easy dunk.
Tim Birch receives a delightful bounce pass, dropped off.
When I saw this kind of effort in a do-or-die EuroLeague semifinal game, I was pretty shocked. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jasikevicius' players were diving on every loose ball and going for every offensive rebound possible. Nigel Hayes-Davis went viral after the final for this flight out of bounds, recovering a loose ball and saving a possession. Eric McCollum, one of the smallest players on the court in the final, grabbed this 50-50 ball and scored an and-one here. Nico Melli was another huge story of the Final Four, not only playing amazing defense but also getting very important second chances. Fenerbahce's final match ended in an 11-point win as they outscored their opponents 22-3 in second chance points.
Devon Hall, step back three, counted!
That just proves me once again that Saras has an amazing charisma and is able to obtain the maximum from each and every one of his players. But he also has a strategy here, talking about offensive rebounds too. A strategy that's called tagging up, and that's allowed Fenerbahce to finish the season with the third highest offensive rebounding percentage in the EuroLeague, despite a not-so-elite center trio comparing to other teams. When an outside shot goes up, the players are not supposed to go in front of their man as it was believed for ages. Fenerbahce guys push their opponents under the rim, create a triangle at around 3 to 4 meters from the rim, maximizing their chances for a longer rebound or a tip back. It also gets them ready for transition defense. Finally, in this Final Four, we saw some personal growth from Saras himself. We all know him as this insanely strict head coach who wants to cut your head off after a turnover on the court. But he himself admitted that now he has only like 50% of the details he had 6 or 7 years ago when he was in Kaunas. He wants his guys to play a little bit more simpler, and it paid off big time. His system and strategy sets up Fenerbahce in an advantage situation after the first 3 quarters, and then it's up for their principals and the offensive talent to put the icing on the cake. In Barcelona and even last year in Fenerbahce, he lacked elite perimeter options, the so-called bucket getters. This year, he could count on Devon Hall, not only playing insanely good defense on Nunn and Mike James, but also hitting 2 clutch shots in both Final Four games. He could rely on the best midseason signing Eric McCollum, who hit a dagger sidestep 3 to seal the semi-final game. He could rely on Nigel Hayes-Davis, probably the best two-way player in the entire league, to make tough turnaround jump shots. He could rely on Wade Baldwin to score a bucket when Fenerbahce needed it the most. And finally, he could rely on Marko Guduric to hit a shot that will be forever remembered if you love yellow and navy blue.
Giving himself running room against Daniel Tice. He's playing with 3 fouls, sidestep 3. Oh, and he drills it right into the eye of Daniel Tice.
Incredible principles, careful game planning, timely adjustments, charming charisma, and personal growth. Saras has it all. He finally has a EuroLeague title to hold in his hands as a coach, and I believe it's only the beginning. That's the good part. Or the scary one for everybody else. Let me know what you think about Coach Sarunas Jasikevicius in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.